managing and living with an autoimmune disease has made me look at life differently, in the sense that today you can see somebody, tomorrow the person is no more, or I don't stress over what I don't have control over. I keep away from negativity and toxic people or environment, and I take life as it comes. So that's my perspective of life. I don't stress over what I have no control over. And living with an autoimmune disease has made me understand the number one cause of an autoimmune disease is stress and trauma. So I have made sure that nothing stresses me. I'm always happy. That's just it. That's just how I look at life. I don't carry my problems on my shoulders. I make sure I leave them in my prayer room when I'm stepping out. I need to tell you, this is what I'm going through for you to know. So that's just my perspective of life. Waking up in the morning is a blessing. Trust me. In 2016, I noticed that I was putting on uncontrollable weight, and I could not explain because I was on the diet, I was doing everything right. Then later, I had acne, pimples all over my body. And later, early 2017, in fact, December 28, 2016, I collapsed and I became conscious after 4 days in the hospital. And the doctors, all they could say is, oh, you have acute malaria and typhoid. And I told the doctor, I said, acute malaria and typhoid cannot make me go into a coma. There must be something going on with me. So later, I saw myself, I had myoedema. Myoedema is when your body retains water from your head to your feet. I became 3 times my normal size. I could not wake up from bed to go use the toilet. The doctors back in Cameroon were doing everything to ensure that water doesn't stay in my body, or else my kidneys and my liver, pancreas are going to be perforated. So it took a while. I went from there. I started suffering from gastroenterological problems. I saw a gastroenterologist who said, oh, this is thyroid that actually causing this. The thyroid gland is this gland here. It's actually the force of your body. This butterfly-shaped gland that actually holds your entire body. And this doctor could not refer me to an endocrinologist because that's the exact specialist that manages the endocrine system. He placed me on wrong medications for 9 weeks. And after 9 weeks, I went from bad to worse. I was bedridden for another 3 weeks. I was evacuated to India, where I was diagnosed with thyroid autoimmune disease, the hyperthyroidism autoimmune disease, which is known as Graves. So from India, the doctors told my family they are going to make everything sure for me to be okay. In most cases, people who suffer from Graves' disease, if you don't meet an endocrinologist who has a lot of experience, he is going to ensure that they remove your thyroid gland. My thyroid gland, as you can see, I've never had a surgery. The doctors managed to made me stable. I went back to Cameroon. 8 months later, I went in for irradiation. It's called a radioactive iodine ablation, where they radiate your thyroid, destroy your thyroid gland. So the doctor didn't tell me, he just said you transition to hypothyroidism. 9 months after my radioactive iodine ablation, that was back in Cameroon. The doctor in Cameroon didn't tell me, oh, you've transitioned to autoimmune hypothyroidism, which is known as Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And I kept managing my health till on the 5th of July 2019, I went into another diabetic coma. I became conscious after 4 days, and we started looking for a second solution because I discovered the doctors in Cameroon could not help you to come to. Can you go to Nigeria? I said, yes, I go to Nigeria all the time. He said, one of the best endocrinologists I know in the world is my schoolmate. He manages the ENT department in Uracare Hospital. Uracare is a hospital owned by Group CFO, the French automobile company. That they have a medical branch known as Pharma. So Pharma in the last 10 years have shifted from pharmaceuticals into healthcare. So when I got to Uracare, I can't say by God's grace, at least I'm here to give testimony. I was literally dying. And the doctor said, if you had stayed in Cameroon for a week, it would have been a different story. So when I saw Dr. Korubo Faye, who is my doctor, my lifesaver, in fact, I say a prayer for him every day. Doctor, when I got to his office, I said, Doctor, why did you become an endocrinologist? Mind you, Dr. Korubo has been my 7th doctor in the 3rd continent. I have seen specialists in India, 4 endocrinologists in Cameroon. I was talking to one in England. I consulted another one in South Africa. So Dr. Korubo was my 7th doctor. And Dr. Korubo said, you're having autoimmune thyroid disease. I said, autoimmune thyroid disease? He said, yes. I said, but I had Graves' disease before. He said, yes. He said, you're having Hashimoto's thyroiditis. In front of him, I went to Google. Hashimoto's thyroiditis is where your immune system is attacking your whole body. And I had the worst case of Hashimoto's. It wasn't only attacking my body, but it was attacking my blood cells. And the doctor said, from the result, your Hashimoto's is attacking your blood cells. Mind you, I had 4 different autoimmune diseases. Addison disease, I was hypoglycemic, and I had hypercholesterolemia. Is when you have a high cholesterol burn. In most cases, where we see where you hear somebody went to bed and you wake up, that's as a result of hypercholesterolemia. That's how it kills so fast. And the doctor, I went. I started doing all sort of research. I cried because before meeting this doctor, I had stayed home for 2 months, unable to do anything for myself. They will come and bathe me in the morning, give me food to eat. I could barely make it to the bathroom. And he assured me he's going to do everything in his power to help me. These days, when he sees me for consultation, he smiles because 2019, 2020, every time I go for consultation, it's crying. I'll be crying. Just tell me I'm going to be alive. That's just all I need to know. Am I going to survive it? I started researching it. I found out, my 2 schoolmates died of this same disease. That breaks me, and I kept holding on to God. So that's just what an autoimmune disease is like. There are so many. There are over 600 autoimmune diseases, but the one which, once you're diagnosed with it, the doctors start getting scared is Hashimoto's, because Hashimoto impairs your whole immune system. I was just lucky to have been alive today to have this interview. According to Center for Disease Control in the US, a proper Hashimoto diagnosis takes you 5 years, at least 10 doctors. I did that in 3 years. I was in India for 5 months in the hospital. So I can't say, my body does no longer let me say that word, but I never give up. I have never given up on anything that concerns my life. I made sure I kept researching from one end to another. I lost my dad 18 years ago, so the bills were sponsored by my family, and every time I have to go to my uncle and say, there's this doctor in this country who has managed to help people to get into remission. If he says, we can't be spending this money, and I'll tell him, I say, if you don't want to do it, have you forgotten I'm a lawyer? I'm going to do it for myself. That's how it was. When I was going to India, they didn't believe, because the doctor that was managing me in Cameroon told my uncle I'm going to die on the plane. But I cried and said, instead for me to die in Cameroon, let me go to India. Mind you, this doctor didn't call me after 8 weeks because he knew I did not make the trip. My pulse were very low. My uncle called me that morning and said, go to the cathedral and go and meet the archbishop to pray for you. I didn't know the doctor told him that I was not going to survive the trip. He didn't want to come into terms into telling me the doctor said you're going to die. I never gave up. In Cameroon, I saw the best endocrinologist. I've never stopped researching about my health. One thing that helped me to be alive to give this testimony was because I advocated for my health. I went against everything everybody said. When they told me a doctor was in Nigeria, my aunt asked me, are you sure you're not going to Nigeria to go and chase a man? Because I heard Nigerian men like Cameroonian women. And I told her, I said, you've come to Cameroon and seen me. She said, because I've never heard that there's a doctor in Nigeria. Why don't you come to America? And the doctor told her, I cannot even make a 4 hours flight without the plane doing an emergency landing. And I said, Mommy, I've been reading about this doctor and this hospital. Let's give it a try. If it doesn't work out, fine. But if you don't want to do anything, I'm going to go. I've been saving my money. That's what I told her. So every time my health got worse, I spent hours of research. I joined an autoimmune support group. When somebody comes in and say, oh, I've gone into remission, the next question that comes in is from me. Please, can you refer the doctor or the hospital that manage your condition? I have a journal of all the best hospitals and functional medicine centers in the world. Because I kept saying, if it doesn't go through in Nigeria, I'll go to Mexico. There's a hospital in Mexico that manages people who have Hashimoto's. That's just it. I had never given up, and I believe Exodus 23, the Lord your God, I will take away all your illnesses. That was the only driving force I had. I wake up in the morning and I kept holding on to that Bible verse, especially the days where I was bedridden, because I was bedridden for over 10 weeks. So I just think that's just what happened to me. I never thought for once I was going to die. I never, even when it was worst, I made sure I had goggle symptoms of somebody that was dying, which they say you start rejecting food, you start keeping away from people. I will make sure I have a meal a day. I am a very, 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 very stubborn and stern person. I said I was a lawyer. So as my mom says, no nonsense, Anna. Before you come to me to say anything, you better be ready. Firstly, when this thing started, my brother attends a Pentecostal church, and this Sunday, he's prophet of it. You have a kid sister that is sick and she's going to die. He didn't know I was sick. And he asked, he said, the only kid sister I know that I haven't heard from in the last 1 week, let me call her. My brother came to my house. I was on my couch. And he said, late Prophet TB Joshua has a disciple in Cameroon called John Chi, who is one of the first prophets that he trained. Mind you, I was taken to that church. My mom till today still has the experience of what happened between both of us there. When we got there, the church warden started saying that I'm possessed. I slapped one of them. When the prophet started praying, they said, no, hold her. She has a demon, she's possessed. Hold her, she has a demon, she's possessed. I left my mother in that church and went back home. We traveled to that place, and I told her, I said, if you stay in that church, your box will be waiting for you outside my apartment. I told her, I said, I'm sick, and all what you put think about is that why would somebody try to kill me? Even when I was going to India, they said, oh, I'm a staunch Catholic. The only place I put my leg while being sick was in that John G's church, and I regretted it. I attend an Igbo community Catholic church, which is run by exorcist priests. So they used to pray for me on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I walk around. I've never gone around without my rosary. The priest told me, stick to your rosary. I have the blood of Jesus rosary where when I finish my rosary prayers, I have to pray that blood of Jesus rosary. So when every time they'll be saying, no, we should take her to TB Joshua. Why is she going to India? And I asked, I said, why will I have a health condition and you think the solution is in church? I mean, God help those who help themselves. If I don't go to the hospital, how are we going to know what is wrong with me? So when I came to Nigeria for treatment, my brother told me, rather than going to that hospital and paying so much money, let me go to TB Joshua. He'll arrange for a cab driver to come and pick me. In fact, he told me one of his friends suggested that I should go to TB Joshua rather than them pay monies, because they've not understood what kind of illness I have that they're spending millions, in fact thousands of US. I called that girl. I told her, I said, do me a favor. If you don't want me to get you arrested, you have no rights. I don't care what relationship you have with my brother. As it concerns me, don't open your mouth and say anything. She said she was just giving the solution. I said, who gave you the audacity to even contribute? I called my brother. He started begging me. He said, please. I said, who even gave you the audacity to even give in something? So even when I came here, I have an auntie in London. She called me, oh, they have this man of God. And I told her, I said, I'm not comfortable going to anywhere. I'm a Catholic. I will pray. I will pray. And when I came here, I started going to Follow More Church. I met one old lady and Mrs. Orugood. She said, my daughter, you don't look Nigerian. And I told her the reason why I was here and everything. She took me to the Reverend Father. They started praying for me. Father gave me a rosary. That is just it. I made sure I prayed my rosary 3 times a day. And they were praying for me. Mrs. Orogo took my name to her different church groups and they were interceding for me. I had people all over the world standing in the gap for me. My friend's mom, who is a staunch Ave Maria member, they were praying for me. The ones that are into other church groups in Catholic Church, they were praying for me. So that's just it. I don't even give people, I don't even entertain unsolicited advice, because I tell you, don't live in my body. Keep whatever you have for yourself. So that was one thing that helped me, because my childhood friend that died of this condition was just because of unsolicited advices. They would tell their parents that this is what they'll do, and that's how she died. So I made sure that if you've not lived what I am going through, your advice is not welcome. I never gave room for anybody to tell me, go to this church, go to this church. My whole family has been to TB Joshua, not once, not twice, not thrice. My uncle died in his church. So it was just something I'm happy I did. Now they are coming back to me to say, thank God. My aunt is a pastor in a Pentecostal church in America, Ben. She noticed that I don't share her views, and she prayed for me from a distance. So that's it. Even I have Nigerian friends that will tell me there's this man of God here, there's this, and I told them, I said, this is why people die. My former bosses were accused that they are the people trying to kill me, but I made sure I shut the door at it. I had my aunt who traveled all the way from Europe to go and see a Babalawo for my case. I told you I was bedridden. So they came with stories and I said, don't enter my house. Like, I'm not permitting this story. People cannot be sick for nothing. And now that I feel better, they feel embarrassed. Some come back and send me messages. They are sorry, they misunderstood me. They didn't know that people are living with this kind of condition. My whole life, I go to the hospital 4 times a year. That's how my late father brought us. At least twice a year, I'll just go for general body checkup. I've been doing that since I was 12 years old. So it's something which, if I have a headache, the next day I'm in the hospital, I have a headache. So I think it has to be an upbringing. I mean, my friends ask me till today, how do you cope spending money? Mind you, insurance does not cover autoimmune disease anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. So when they see you spending money, I asked, I said, all this money you're using in buying shoes and clothes, when last did you go for medical checkup? Say, God forbid, I can't get sick. I said, no. You have to always make sure you go for a checkup. You don't need to be sick before you go to the hospital. Just do that at least once or twice a year, because what they say, what don't you know, will not kill you. At least you can arrest something early. There might be something going on with you. Some people, their immune system is as hard. Their immune system is so strong. Me, I'm so fragile. I'm vulnerable. I just need to sit next to a fan and the next minute I have a cold and everything. So I keep telling people, God help those who help themselves. Early diagnosis can prevent a catastrophe in the future. That's just what I think. Early diagnosis can prevent. I believe that that's the reason why I'm alive today, because I made sure for the last 5 years, I've been going to the hospital every month. It's only in late 2020 that I started seeing the doctor every 3 months. I go for checkup every 6 weeks. Since 2016 that I started having health issues. Every 6 weeks, I'm in the hospital for lab tests. Every 6 weeks, I'm in the hospital for lab tests. So it's something which I tell people, don't wait. Imagine those that died of COVID without knowing they had underlying health conditions. If they had been going to the hospital, they'll know, oh, they have an underlying kidney infection, they have an underlying pancreatic infection, they are prone to being diabetic or anything. I mean, I was never diabetic. Everybody, all the adults in my family are managing a sugar problem, not until when I was diagnosed with Hashimoto disease. Thank God I've put the diabetes in remission today. I'm no longer diabetic. But I stopped having frizzy drinks like 12 years ago. Because I knew growing up, everybody in my family is managing a sugar problem. So don't wait. God will not wait for you to get diagnosed before they start moving with you from one place to another. I mean, those who are going through orthodox treatment, who spend their time drinking one herbal thing to another, those herbalists also need a blood result to administer you whatever concoction they are giving you. So don't wait for your body to give up on you before you go to a hospital. In Cameroon, we have a very, very, very sham healthcare system. I just told you I was wrongly diagnosed and I was on wrong medications for 9 weeks. If you don't carry out research, you won't even know. In West Africa, Nigeria has hospitals. It's because people are not informed. And those hospitals don't do social media, public display because they don't have time. Mind you, if I see a hospital every day advertising on social media, I won't go there. It shows that they don't have good medical services because they are not informed. Uracare Hospital has the best specialists in the world. My aunt, after seeing Professor Wale Suleiman on CNN, who heads the neurosurgery department in that hospital, left and went to the US and told her daughter she wanted Professor Wale to operate her. They were looking for Professor Wale. Called even when he was working in America, and they said Professor Wale has moved to Nigeria. So if you're not informed, if I hid my illness, I'll be buried, long forgotten. And now it's become my reality. Everywhere I sit, I make sure I try to sensitize people with autoimmune conditions. A lot of people are having health conditions, but they can't even open up because they're afraid that the society is going to stigmatize them. I was once like them. I will go to public places and don't say anything to anybody. Not until Dr. Korobo told me, Anna, if you don't talk, you need to start opening up about your disease. I started advocating for my health. I started writing about my health condition on social media. A lot of people know. So I think if you don't know, they don't even know the hospital is existing. They start telling me, oh, I go to London. I say, you go to London because you have NHS registration. NHS will not register, will not carry out all the tests they will do for you in Iraqi. Even when I was coming in, I was not so sure, but that was my last option. But believe me, yeah, am I today? I've left from a size 18 to size 12. I'm no longer diabetic, which is a rare condition. Living and maintaining a healthy lifestyle can also depend on what you call lifestyle change. For example, I got to be sick to know it's not everybody that must work out in the gym. I never knew that. So healthy lifestyle is not about going to the gym and lifting all the weights and everything. Healthy lifestyle in functional medicine, there is a saying which quote, we are what we eat. Every disease starts from your intestines, what you put into your stomach. So it's not about drinking green tea in the evening. I don't even think that. Or drinking apple cider. And the last time I took an apple cider was in 2016. It's about what you put into your body. Is it healthy calories? Is it carbs? What is the average thing you do? How you manage your lifestyle? I came to Nigeria and see people having 6 different jobs together. How do you manage it? You can die of stress. When do you rest? An average human must sleep for at least 8 hours a day. When I see them, they say, oh, it's hustling. I said, your body's going to give up on you because I was once like you. Once my body gave up on me, nobody told me. I saw myself dying. So it's how you there is lifestyle, all it is what you put into your mouth, what gets into your body. Rest is very important. Rest is the number one recommendation every doctor. I've been asked to sleep for 13 hours every day. You won't believe it as the truth. Because if you don't rest, your body's going to give up on you. Everybody you meet is going through something. Be nice. And the second thing, what I always tell people, always learn to give. I was lucky to have a family who has spent everything they have to make me to be alive. Some people don't have the opportunity. I tell my friends to always go to health charities. I'm sick, I still do that. Others don't even have the money to pay for their treatment. So I'm happy my parents instilled that in me. You must not have $1 million before you give out to somebody. A widow's mite can go a long way. That's the 2 message I have to tell the world.